All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice.
That was right. That was spot on.
All right. Okay. So, should we give it a crack?
Let's do it.
What you saying, guys? This is the What You Saying podcast. I'm Trent, and I'm here with my boys Jack and James. This podcast is the fresh brainchild from our young, supple minds. We have no planned structure or theme, so we don't have very high hopes for this thing. But who knows? Maybe you're weird and you find us entertaining.
Hi there. My name is James, and a few days ago, I decided to message my pals on Snapchat to see how they were doing. It's been a few years since we all spoke, so I thought now was the best time to have a catch-up. Within 30 seconds, Trent asked if we wanted to start a podcast together, and now we're here. Whether you're listening to this on your commute, or at home, or during your workout, who knows? I hope you enjoy, and we're excited to release more.
Nice.
Thank you for that, James.
Nice. That's all right.
So, yeah, James summed that up pretty nicely. Hi, I'm Jack. This is our first podcast. Trent came to me and James with this game show idea, which is 100% original, and I've never heard of anything like it. So, yeah, we're going to start with doing a couple episodes based around that, and we'll get feedback and ideas. But, yeah, that's the kind of whole point of this. We're not sure what's going on, so we'll see how we go.
Nice, I like that.
Nice, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to the What You Saying podcast, the online podcast game show where the better you are at lying, the higher your points are flying. Over the last few days, I've collected stories and anecdotes from the guests. Throughout the show, they're going to read these out, and the other team has to decide if they're telling the truth or if they're lying. I'm here with two of my closest friends and team captains, James and Jack. What you saying, Jack?
Yeah, thanks, Trent. Thanks for that elegant introduction. I'm happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to doing a bit of fibbing, a bit of kidding, and a bit of winning.
Nice.
So, I'm just really looking forward to this one.
That's what I like to hear. So who's on your team, Jack?
All right, so I've carefully selected today a sharp team of people who lie to their own families to get what they want. To my left, we have Sam, my good friend Sam, who only agreed to be here to test out his new audio setup that he spent too much money on. So thanks for joining us, Sam. What are you saying?
Hi guys, it's a pleasure to be here. They've already said my mic sounds good, so I'll probably be leaving halfway.
Thanks, Sam. And to my right, I'm joined by Hannah, who I haven't spoke to in so long that she didn't even recognise me when we got into school. What are you saying, Hannah?
Hi, thanks for having me. Looking forward to this.
No, thanks for coming. Otherwise, this would have been a massive sausage fest. So yeah, that's the crew.
Cool, thank you. So that's team one, that's Jack's team. Let's move on to James's team. What are you saying, James?
Hello there. Thank you, Trent. Nice to meet your team, Jack. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. We've been planning this for, what is it, like must be coming up to like 3 years now. We've been planning this podcast, so
solid 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years, maybe 5, 6 years. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I haven't done any preparation for my lying, but you know what can I say? I'm a natural truther, natural liar.
Nice. So who's in your team, James?
I'm joined today with two of my good friends. We got Miles, who is literally miles away from me during this quarantine. Got to say, more than 2 meters away. What are you saying, Miles?
I mean, I now realise why I was invited here, because that was a great joke, James. Well
done. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Low hanging fruit.
And we've got Dan here. Dan, who is my number one fan. What are you saying, Dan? What are you saying, Dan?
Oh, I'm good. I can't wait to get going, and can't wait to show Team One who's really the boss.
Oh yeah, that's what I like to hear. Fighting
Is that our
already.
official team name?
Unless
team
you can
one.
think of something better.
I absolutely cannot.
All right, well, in that case, let's get straight into it. So up first is James's team, and James, you're up with the lie.
Okay. I once spent 2 days with a cannibal in Cambodia.
All right, what are we thinking?
Right. What first pops to my mind is, what was the original plan for Cambodia before you got involved with this guy?
Is that you thinking out loud, or is that a question?
That's a question. You got to answer
it. What was I planning on doing like before this all happened?
You didn't go there to do this shit.
Oh no, I did not. We basically, it's quite a long story, but the premise, basically we missed our bus to our like connecting bus. We're like very difficult transport methods in Cambodia. Like if you miss your like one bus, then you're just going to miss your next one because the travel was just so ridiculous over there. So I had to stay another night in this hotel, well, this like hostel, I guess. And they do these like walking tours every morning. So the more like I stepped around for another night and then went to this free walking tour the next morning, and yeah, one of the walking tours included this sort of like introductory thing to this cave, I guess. And then you could pay extra to actually like spend a couple of days in this cave with people that were cannibals. We didn't think it. We didn't think it.
This was part of the package.
It wasn't. It was more. It was more of a. I don't think they did it anymore. I think they used to. But they had some cool stories to share.
Oh, why'd they stop
Yeah,
that?
I wonder why they stopped.
Well,
When you say cannibal, what are we talking? We talking people or we talking animals? I've got to know this.
we are talking like they well supposedly they used to eat people.
But they gave it up.
Yeah.
They like quit, like cigarettes. They just stopped.
Well, I don't know.
No, good on them.
Yeah, good on them making
Yeah,
the
right thing to
decision,
do.
But
Right?
obviously, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's true or not. But from my understanding, I spent 2 days with people that used to eat people.
Were
So
you?
it's
Were
quite
you?
interesting.
Did you eat breakfast that morning?
Well, luckily I ate breakfast at the hostel. It was it was literally just like a I don't know, like a huge cave where they had like images and stuff of how it used to be like around the cave, and then you'd walk through, and then right at the end you'd like meet the people and ask them questions and stuff.
Are they nice?
They were very nice, yeah.
Man, that's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
That's how they get you, man. That's how they get you.
They had translators though, because obviously they didn't speak English in Cambodia.
They only spoke cannibal.
They only spoke cannibal.
Are they not just normal humans if they don't eat other people anymore?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but
You're never the same. You're never the same after beating a man.
You say that like you know.
Hey, we'll wait for my turn to come up. All right.
But yeah, it was a very interesting time. And yeah, it was kind of one of those things where I was glad that I missed that initial bus because it meant I got to experience something I thought I was never going to experience. So
What, eating another person?
yeah.
Did any of them like try and sell it? They were like, actually, it's really good. Like if you ever like, not saying you can do it, but if you ever get the chance.
You know those sort of awkward when they make like awkward jokes and everyone's just there like, yeah, that's creepy. It was like that. So every now and then during like when we'd ask them questions,
Yeah, I'm used to those jokes.
Like when we'd ask questions, they'd always like end their question with like and it tasted good sort of thing, and we were like, yeah.
Did they say what it tasted like?
Everyone says the same thing, chicken.
Pork, isn't it? I thought it was
Oh,
pork.
it's
Oh, no.
Apparently not everyone.
Miles, it sounds like you know quite a lot about this.
Yeah.
Guys, the spotlight's on me here, but it's nice. That's what I'm going to say. I don't want no further question.
He rests his case.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
All right. Well,
Jack, what you
Sam.
saying?
Well, I'm going to confer with my team here. So, Hannah, Sam, after listening to the man, what do you reckon?
Is that all we get? I had other questions I wanted.
If you,
go
if you
for
have
it.
another question, go ahead, please.
So, what else did you learn from them? What else did they tell you?
They taught us how they used to live. So it wasn't all just about them eating other humans. It was about how they were very much into the whole idea of like surviving on your own without having to access to clean water and like making it like farming for their own food, obviously.
Guess they wouldn't have to, right?
Yeah. So we kind of learned a lot about how they made their like beds and made their fire the most efficient and made their sort of cave their universe in a way. So quite interesting.
So did they live in this cave that you went
They
to
lived in the
visit?
cave. Yeah, they had this sort of. It was quite cool. Like in the entrance to the cave, they had this like one stream, which like went into this lake, which no one like went into because it was owned by. I think the backstory like they lived in this cave, and then the people that were visiting this lake, the people in the cave ate those people that came to visit the lake. So eventually, people stopped visiting that lake because they knew that these people that eat people were living in this cave. So then it just turned into this whole. I guess they eventually just stopped eating people because no one was there to be eaten.
So they started a tour to bring tourists to come through.
Well, I guess they'd do anything for like money, that sort of thing. It's like a good
for dinner.
Like, I paid for dinner.
Do anything for a bit of leg.
Yeah. And how could they possibly be friends with each other? Knowing that everyone around them has been eating other people. Like, how could you trust? How did they talk about the trust system they had going on?
They didn't talk about that, but that's a very.
Do they do the pinky swears? Any pinky swears?
They had some like holy ritual handshake, which they did every time. They were like every time they met someone, they would do this really cool thing where I guess was that their way of saying, "Well, I'm not going to eat you."
Nice and clear.
You're
like
cool. You're cool, man.
That would have me completely comfortable.
Sam, Hannah, any other questions you can think of for the man?
No, I think that was it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty convinced. I'm not gonna lie; it's a very
You
detailed.
think he's telling the truth?
Yeah.
I think that story was just so detailed that
He was good with the surroundings, huh? Like the lake, the river, the cannibals.
I
felt
reckon
like I was in that
cannibalism
cave.
is a thing in Cambodia, or
Yeah.
was a thing anyway. And I feel like, that lie is too good for Trent to come up with.
Wow. I see how it is. Great.
I reckon James did encounter these cannibals in Cambodia in real life. True.
James?
That was all a lie.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's a round of applause, right?
Thank you.
Anything you
good.
want to say, Hannah? An apology?
Wow.
You had me at farming.
Yeah, that was. I'm so
was
glad
really well
that
done.
video isn't on because I am sweating. That was difficult. When some of those questions you were asking, I was like, "But Hannah, when you said like, where else did you learn there?" I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know what else I learned there." I turned to my right and saw my bed, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we learned how to make beds."
I wasn't even trying to catch you out. I was just so curious. I was like so interested in this story, this experience.
I kind of wish that was true though, because that'd be quite
Yeah, was there like
brilliant.
any truth to that? Did you actually even go to Cambodia?
I have been to Cambodia and I have had some weird times in Cambodia. So there was some sort of truth because quite interestingly there was a lady there where she killed chickens and you like make chicken soup. So and that whole setting and stuff was true. Like she lived in a cave. There was a lake there and a stream and stuff, and she just
That's
lived
the
on
best
side
kind
of
of
it.
lie.
Yeah,
Mm.
relating it off something that's actually
Yeah,
true.
nice.
All right, cool. So that's 1 point to James's team.
The
Nice.
first ever point.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Nice.
James. Nicely
Nice.
done.
Good
Congrats.
start.
All right,
Thank you,
next
thank
up,
you.
we've got Jack. What are you saying, Jack?
Okay. My dad once convinced me he was Reggie Yates and tried to get me to go to sleep.
I mean, how would that get you to go to sleep? Honestly.
Is that your question? Is that your first question?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
All right. Okay, so let me take you back to a more simpler time. We're talking 2003, 2004, 2005, circa that area.
That was a long bedtime.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but we're talking. I was watching Top of the Pops. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Nice.
Yeah, what a show.
So I was very young, and bedtime ritual would be I don't know, it must have been like a Sunday or Friday night or something. There'd be Top of the Pops on, and then I had to go to bed after that. And they showed a certain amount of songs, like 3 or 4. So for example, they did 4 songs, and then after that they'd end the show, and I have to go to bed. Be upset and whatever because I was like 6, 7, didn't want to go to bed. So there was this one time they only played 3 songs, and I was outraged. I was like, "What the fuck, Reggie? I need to. I've now got to go to bed about 4 minutes earlier because of you." So I complained to my parents. I was like, "Nah, that's not how it works, man. Like, come on." And anyway, I got sent up to my room, and my mum comes in with the phone. She's like, "Oh, it's Top of the Pops. They're on the phone for you." And believe it or not, Reggie Yates was there, and he was apologizing to me over the phone, being like, "Hey man, look, I'm sorry about your sleep cycle, but this is just how it goes sometimes." So yeah, that's kind of
I've just got one quick thing. Okay, Google, Who is Reggie Yates?
Oh no!
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Can you get?
Yeah.
Oh.
When your dad spoke to you on the phone, could you not tell it was your dad's voice?
He never talks to me.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So you're
Minimal-
saying this was like 2003, 2004, 2005?
Yeah,
And
one of those 3 years,
so-
yes.
So you were like, I don't know, 8 years old?
No.
Yeah. I was between, well, give or take, we're
Yeah.
talking about a
Yeah, all these
3-year
different
gap
years.
here. Yeah, that's right.
I'd say that's. I'm not very good with ages, but I'd say that's quite old for you, like not going to bed. Like,
Bro.
were you
How many
like,
8-year-olds do you know?
were you disobedient?
Kind of
That
sus,
is,
dude.
that's a worry area. I'm questioning these.
Look, I know what you're saying. Hey, I should know my dad's voice by 8, and also
Yeah.
I shouldn't
You
have a
shouldn't.
bedtime by then.
Yeah.
But my parents raised me right, apart from my dad. And
But he didn't speak to you.
nah, that's it.
So
So-
okay, at
yeah.
what point did you realise that this was happening? Like, what if that was actually Reggie Yates? How do you know that wasn't him?
How do I know it wasn't?
Uh,
So he dragged it on, and then it got to a point. I was terrified. I didn't want to. I was like shitting myself. I was saying I'm sorry over the phone, like over and over again. It was so bad. And then afterwards, I'm pretty sure it was the next day. They let me know about it, or he might have even come up that
were
night.
you,
But
were you
honestly,
mad, or were you quite relieved?
I think I got trauma. I think I got trauma from it. Honestly, like I'm terrible on the phone these days. I'm really bad at talking to people like on the phone on a 1-to-1.
Is that because
I
you're
think
scared
it's-
that Reggie Yates is going to be on the other
He
side?
haunts me my every living moment. Reggie Yates at any moment.
I think we're going down the wrong avenue here. What I want to know is what songs were playing at this sort of time. Give us some tunes.
We're talking James Blunt.
Oh damn! I believe him.
With your beautiful. That was a good
That
good
is
tune
about
around
that
there.
time period, I reckon.
But I mean, I don't know. There's a 3-year window here, so I'm not sure.
So wait, so this went on for 3 years? Of you-
Yeah,
of
this
you
happened to
listening
me
Reggie Yates every night.
every week. Every
Every
week, my
week,
dad called
okay.
me and told me to go to bed for 3 years.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. What else do you need to know about the story?
I mean, I could believe that an 8-year-old could think that it's someone else on the phone
Mm.
other than their dad. I think just because maybe you didn't initially recognize his voice because you were a bit starstruck, I suppose.
Yeah, I was
Um,
shocked.
Which does lead me on, actually. Were you a big fan of Reggie Yates?
Yeah, I'm looking at a poster of him on my wall right now.
Yeah,
Actually.
you must
Still
have
am
been a bit-
a big fan.
Okay.
I've got a cardboard cutout of him in my wardrobe as well, life size.
Sure, that's not your dad.
Oh, I wish, man. I wish.
All right, James, what are we thinking?
Well, so Dan, you seem pretty convinced. Miles, what?
Yeah,
I'm not convinced, to be honest with you, because it's a whole 3-year window. Every
Yeah.
week for 3 years, he said.
If
It sounded like it was just one evening from some of his stories.
Yeah, if the story is a little bit mismatched.
It might have been one evening. It might have been one evening. You know, you've got to
Yeah, so now
accentuate
he's
these stories.
backtracking.
I'm not
I- I-
convinced.
I believe that one night when he was little,
Yeah.
Reggie Yates, his dad like pretended to be Reggie Yates. But what was the exact statement that you made? Was that it? Because I do believe that.
The original statement was it was just like the one-off. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dan and Miles? Do you believe that one-off statement?
Well, I think when he said he did it for every night, that was more of just a joke coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we took it a bit too seriously. I think it did happen one night. Truthfully.
Yeah, I'd say it did happen one night. I think the rest of the story was a bit,
Hard to remember the ins and
Yeah,
outs of something like that,
Yeah. I think
especially when traumatized.
lie, but if you two,
Oh, I was going to
that's
say.
fair.
Okay, well, it's 2v1. I think
James is
I think-
taking it. You're outnumbered.
I think yeah, your dad at one night did call you and pretend that he was Reggie Yates.
All right, we're going with true. Jack?
Yeah, it's true. Unfortunately, I did.
Never listen to me again, James.
Damn it! I'm 2 points down, and we're like half an hour in. God damn it!
2 points to James's team, 0 points to
you.
Jack's team.
Nice.
Just out of interest, was the rest of the story true? Like, did you remember that time frame, or was that just?
It was like most of it was. I was trying to like. Obviously, it was a while ago, but yeah, it was true. The one off, and I am still terrible on the phone. So
You
yeah,
link it back to
I don't
that.
know.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
But did your dad
Nice.
properly put on a Reggie Yates accent?
He probably didn't need to. Honestly, I would have just gone with it.
Fair enough.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Next up, back to James's team. Throwing it to Dan. What you saying, Dan?
Okay. What am I saying? Right, so it's I once threw up while talking about poo with my friend.
So do you pretty generally have a weak stomach? Do you throw up a lot?
Oh, I do actually, yes. I can be trying to pick up dog poo or something, and that's it for me. So I'll
There
be
it is,
leaving.
poo again.
Yeah, is it poo specific? That's a hard thing to say.
Yeah, I'd say it's just any excrement specific, to be fair.
Okay, that broadens out a little bit.
Yeah, keeping it vague. I like it.
Can you just give us a bit more detail about the statement?
Okay, so it was just one of them chats you're having with your friend, and
about
poo. About poo, you know how it goes.
Make sure you put a bucket by you, by the way.
Yeah, guys, this is a risky business, but I don't want to be taken back.
It would be great for the pod though if you could.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I think we were just discussing our bowel movements at the time, and this particular
Is that a normal
friend.
thing to discuss with your friends?
Yes,
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Weirdly, yes, it is. But yeah, so we were just discussing it, and one thing led to another, and he was telling me how he'd had problems recently, and I won't go into too much detail, but I'll just say he was very graphic in his descriptions, and that really brought on some horrible visions, and yeah, it just went from heaving to actually coming out. So yeah.
Nice. Was this a one-to-one conversation, or was there like a group of people here?
No, it's just me and my friend. Yeah, just the one-to-one.
Intimate.
This
I like that.
friend Trent, by any chance?
we have spoken about said things before, but this time this did not happen with Trent.
Right. Okay.
See. Where were you when this happened?
I was round my friend's house, which is Tunbridge Wells area.
Bigger.
Yeah, you know what's good. And yeah, I think we were sitting in his garden, so that was quite good actually, because
Convenient, yeah.
Yeah, convenient. Good job we weren't inside.
So where did you actually chund then?
So we were just sitting on like deck chairs having this chat, and just straight down the side. Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't try and make it to a bathroom or anything. You just sort of turned your head. It was kind of like that instant.
As soon as you heard the word poo, you were like, "Oh, that's it, boys."
Yeah, that's it for me.
Slight lean to his right. Yeah.
Just casual, carries on talking.
Yeah.
So
can you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Who was that?
Well, I was gonna say I've seen like videos where. No, actually, it wasn't a video. It was
Where is this going?
It was cheaper by the dozen when he walks into the room and he sees sick on the floor, and then he throws up, and then he sees even more sick on the floor, so he throws up again. Was that like you? Where
I remember that.
You were talking about poo, and then you threw up, and then because you don't like
excrement,
yeah,
and then you shit yourself.
Was there a second puke because you then just saw your own puke?
No, as far as I'm aware, it wasn't a massive puke. It was quite contained. It was just a one-off.
Bit of bile.
Yeah, a little bit of bile. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm feeling a bit iffy now.
But no, yeah, it was just the once, and then I sort of, obviously, he was laughing, I was laughing. Go get some water, and then we decided not to talk about it anymore. So.
And here we are talking about it. So
yeah.
I think
reliving
what
those
kind of
horrible memories.
Can you give us a rendition of the description, or will it be too much for you?
I think we should leave that out of the podcast.
We're trying to get sponsors, Jack.
Family friendly, please.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm believing this so far. What you got? What you got,
I've got
Hannah?
a question. So at this point, did you know that you had this like phobia of poo that made you throw up?
Yeah, I've kind of. It's not just poo. It's sort of a bit of everything. Like what James was saying about cheaper by the dozen. Yeah, sick makes me sick.
So would you not have said to your friend, "Wait, can we not talk about this? It's going to make me throw up everywhere."
No, the problem
Ooh.
is because we're boys. It's a very general chat that anyone will bring up, and you kind of just have to go with it. And
Part of being
if
a
you
man.
say
Yeah,
anything,
you wouldn't
if you
talk
say
to
anything,
anyone.
they'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, let's just have this conversation.
What are you saying?
Yeah, what you're saying, exactly.
What are we thinking then, Jack?
Yeah, but like, what are we saying, team?
Oh,
What do you reckon?
I don't know.
I think it's such a believable one that it's conveniently believable that it could be a lie. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, pardon the pun here, but something smells off.
There it is.
He was waiting the whole time to say that.
I'm not buying it. I think he said he started with like retching and then he threw up. But then through the whole time he was retching and he knows it's coming, he's just chilling in this deck chair, just hanging out, and then just decides to just puke next to him.
So you're not buying it, Sam?
I'm not buying it. But
Anna,
I've been
you-
wrong
you
before.
are or you're
I've been
not?
wrong before.
I'm happy to go with a lie because it's a little bit suspicious.
Okay. Well, I was gonna lean towards truth, but I'm gonna
Oh,
No,
I'm gonna take my.
what's your reasoning, Jack?
yeah.
What's
you're
my
team
reasoning?
captain, so
My reasoning is I think he's a standout guy, and I don't think he'd lie to me about
Oh,
something
stop
like
it!
that.
You.
All right, you
No, I
are the
don't
team
know.
captain though, Jack. So the decision lies with you.
Ooh, all right. I'm gonna go because I need a point, honestly. So, I'm gonna go with my teammate's decision and say he's making that one up.
All right,
It's a
Dan.
lie.
Was it the truth or was it a lie?
Well, I do have a weak stomach, but sadly, I did not throw up.
Hey,
Hey,
Well done.
we're on the board.
thank you
Well
very
done.
much, team.
1
Thank
point
you.
to Jack's
Good
team.
work. Good work.
Nice.
I think you throwing up, like not even trying to stop the conversation or anything.
All right, moving on. Next up, we've got Hannah. What are you saying, Hannah?
right. I would sell ketchup at school.
Ketchup.
Oh, ketchup.
Okay.
Are we talking Heinz?
Of course.
Of course. Okay.
Premium stuff. Okay.
So what was the what sort of demand did that have? Did you see a gap in the market? You were like, oh, my school friends need ketchup more. I'm going to start selling. Or was it more of a, where did that idea come from? Did you just want to try and sell something and you decided on ketchup?
Yeah, well, basically what happened was the school did actually have ketchup in the canteen. However, it cost 50p for like a little sachet.
Oh yeah.
And so I thought, this could be a good chance to make a bit of money myself. So I thought I would sell ketchup cheaper to everyone.
Undercutting the competition.
Exactly. I thought, who really wants to spend 50p on like a thin sachet of ketchup? So I just saw that as a chance to make a bit of money myself, and I'd go around with some Heinz ketchup and sell that to people for cheaper than the school sold ketchup.
How are you selling it? Were you like doing it by the bottle, or was it
Yeah,
like
that's
what I
50p for a
wanna know.
squirt?
Yeah, I went round and asked
squirt.
with a bottle. I took a bottle into school with me, and then I went round.
See, I would have thought it would make more sense to do the sachet route. It would be easier to distribute than.
So if someone had a bacon roll and they didn't want to pay for, 50p for some ketchup, they would go to you and say, "Yo, can I have a squirt for 40p?"
It was actually 20p.
20.
Whoa,
Wow,
nice,
that's
okay.
generous.
Solid.
I'll have some.
So I imagine like you get a bit of notoriety. Did you get a nickname out of this? I imagine being at school, being the plug for ketchup. You must have got.
Being in an all girls school, no. Like no one came up
That's
with
a
stuff like
shame.
that.
Interesting.
So how did you get round to everyone who needed the ketchup. So there was obviously the canteen. People would go and buy that bacon sandwich. And did you just stand at the end of the counter, like get the ketchup?
Yeah, right next to all the
Blend in.
dinner ladies, I'd stand there with my own ketchup.
They were confused why they weren't selling any ketchup, and they just looked behind them. Just you stood there.
Just throwing daggers at her.
No, I sort of just like wandered around, and when I saw people eating stuff, I'd be like, "Do you want some ketchup with that?" And then that's all.
Were there any times where?
Let me
Hey,
finish.
hey.
And then yeah, once I'd done that for a while, people got to know me for selling the ketchup, and yeah, I'd be there in the canteen. I'd sit at a table, and then
Wow.
people would come to me.
Was it like
Were
a
there
drug
any-
deal? Like they'd slide the money over like really sneakily. And
Yeah, I had
Hannah's
to keep
pocket.
it on the down low, so the teachers didn't catch me.
How much
Hannah just
money did you
twinkles when she
make?
walks around school.
I made about. It sounds really ridiculous now. I made about £2 a day.
It doesn't seem. How many
Wow, how
squares did
much-
you get per bottle?
Yeah,
That's
how,
work out
how
quite
much?
good.
Yeah, how much was a bottle back then?
Huh?
How much was a bottle? How much did you pay for a bottle when you did this? Out of ketchup.
I think that was only like £3 or something.
It was Heinz, right?
So you
Yeah.
didn't make a profit.
No, because you'd be
No,
selling.
Oh, you didn't go through a bottle
You
a
get
day.
more than one day of
no.
out
Think
of a
about how
Heinz.
long
Oh, yeah,
a
it's true.
bottle of ketchup lasts.
So how many how long did this last? How long were you doing this for?
Maybe like 2 terms, I think it was. Sort of the first term
know-
and then second term.
Do you know how many bottles you went through?
I think it was maybe like 4 or 5, perhaps.
Interesting.
How many squirts did you get out of a bottle?
Quite a lot.
Probably quite hard to nail
I
that on
think-
the head.
I think I think you get more out of a bottle than you think.
Yeah, it does last a long time.
Did
What happened when you got to the end of the bottle and someone asked for a squirt? Would you just give them that little bit of dregs at the bottom, or would you crack open?
No,
The ketchup
I was
water.
organised and made sure I had a new bottle with me.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's a
Did you-
businesswoman.
Did you have
Yeah.
any moments where you looked across the playground and you were like, "Oh my word," and then you just saw like Tesco's own brand ketchup or something, and you were like, "Wow, someone's trying to outdo me here."
Some bloke from Tesco was there.
Well, luckily, no one copied me. No one.
Nice. Not even any. Did you ever think about branching out to mayonnaise or mustard or anything? Or you were sticking to your roots of the ketchup.
I'm not gonna lie. It kind of got to the point where I was like, I can't really be bothered to do this anymore for like £2 a day. I'd rather just sit and enjoy my own lunch.
Yeah, true.
Smart.
That's
a lot of
true,
work.
very true.
Did you eat your own ketchup? Like, if you bought a bacon sandwich, would you go through your own bottle, or did you have to?
Got high off the own supply.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
Be
would.
careful
And
with
I
that.
wouldn't pay myself.
Oh.
All right, James, what are we
Oh.
thinking?
I think that's something I can imagine happening. I don't.
I
I don't,
agree.
yeah, I don't see there's any, like, I think it could equally be a lie and the truth, but I can see it happening. So, what do you think, Dan?
I mean, I could see it happening, but I feel. She said she did it for 2 terms, and I think if you're only making, say, £2, and it sounds like a lot of work as well.
Yeah, to carry on doing it.
£2 is a lot when you're at school, though, for a
Oh,
day.
yeah.
That
You
is
got a lot of
true.
sweets for that.
Were you
How many
doing it?
energy drinks is that?
Isotonics for 50p.
Yeah, little stimulation drinks for like
Yeah,
35p.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored by Lidl. We're
Yeah.
not sponsored by
So what,
Not yet, not yet.
did you? Were you like? Did you go out to do this like because you wanted to make people happy, or did you want to make money?
I wanted customer satisfaction, and just because I thought,
Did
you know,
anyone?
I thought it was an easy thing to do for a little bit of money, which would like cover my own lunch.
If you were like walking like to class after lunch, and someone was just like wiping their mouth with their napkin, would they say, "Oh, thanks for earlier, by the way, for the ketchup"? Would you get compliments? Oh, okay.
The
No,
people's
girls aren't like
champion.
that.
No. Yeah, I'm kind of imagining this as like a boys' school and thinking all the ridiculous things that would happen along the way.
You definitely get called ketchup boy.
Yeah,
for the rest of your
ketchup boy.
life.
Yeah. You would end up with your own bottle of ketchup in your hair at some point.
Yeah. You'd be 18 years old. People would still be calling you Ketch.
I don't think I'd have been brave enough to do it if there were guys around.
No, I think it is believable.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I'm maybe leaning a little bit more towards the lie, but if you guys are saying it's truth, then
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if it was a lie, but at the same time, I'm going to go off the idea of that has happened. You know, that's how Lord Sugar started. He was selling
ketchup.
things. He was selling things in the playground, like Snickers bars. I don't know.
yo-yos, I believe it was.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I think you did used to sell ketchup on the playground or at school.
All right, we're going with true. Hannah, truth or lie?
That is a lie.
Yay!
Cash. That's another point.
W's,
Nice.
baby.
Nice.
Anyone's game.
All right. And next up, we have Miles. What you saying, Miles?
I spent 2 weeks trying to teach myself French, only to find that I was actually learning Spanish.
Oh, what?
How?
Oh no.
That's the question.
Let me tell you, mi amigo. He's my friend in
So
French
romantic.
or Spanish, one or the other. Well, I thought I wanted to broaden my horizons, and a bit of French. It's the language of romance, I thought to myself. I basically forgot that Duolingo was a thing, and I got this really dodgy app. I don't remember what it's called. It was probably called like Triolingo or something. And I clicked on French. I'm so sure I clicked on French, let me tell you. And then for a solid, I don't know, it must have been like a month and a half, was teaching it to myself. And then I went to my friend who speaks French, and I was like, or should I say, bonjour? Is that it? I don't remember. I didn't do very well. And then they bullied me for about 3 years.
What did they? How did they bully you? Sorry for focusing on this, but
Oh yeah, I really wish I hadn't brought it up. To be honest. Whenever I saw them, they would just keep telling people how I could speak French and just keep calling me a little French boy, even though I knew a little bit of Spanish. And then it was really embarrassing in the pub and stuff. Now they would go up to pretty girls and boys, and I would have to speak Spanish in front of them. And they thought I was about to speak French. My life wasn't ideal.
So right now, you know how to speak Spanish or French? Like, what do you know right now?
I know a little bit of Spanish, which I thought was French, but to be honest, the whole situation turned me right off learning more.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, had you gone to France at any point and just started speaking Spanish in the restaurants?
I wish. It didn't go that far, to be honest with you. I have been to France, but this was before the whole fiasco. It's part of the reason I wanted to learn French, because I'd love to go back. Because we only spent, it was when we went there camping with my scouts, and we only spent like a day in Paris. I didn't really want to go back, but now I feel like I can't, to be honest.
Yeah, you're done. Your career's
Right,
over, buddy.
I've got a few things to ask. First of all, did you not learn French or Spanish in school?
I did French up till year 9 and switched over to Spanish for GCSE onwards because I was rubbish at French at the time, but then I regretted that decision, and so I wanted to learn French again.
But you then, when you were learning it, you didn't recognise, actually, no, none of this is French.
So you've studied both French and Spanish.
Yeah, exactly.
And you
and
still couldn't figure it out.
It was a royal mix-up, let me tell you.
So you studied Spanish at GCSE level, yet you went to learn French again, which was actually Spanish, but even though you'd done it at GCSE, you didn't realise.
A C.
Thanks for the summary.
That's Spanish.
No,
Like-
I'm trying to clarify that because
Because when I was trying to learn it again, I was recognising the words because I'd learned some Spanish and French, but I thought the words I recognised were from French. But in fact, they were from Spanish.
Have you ever been
Miles.
tested for like special needs or anything?
Honestly, I was kicking and screaming and I was going to say with the needle in.
I don't know you very well, but I think for your sake, I really hope this is a lie.
Yeah, straight up.
Oh no.
I mean, now I'm feeling very upset. Pointing to the sad face of my little boy.
It's a great story. What can I say?
All right, what are you saying, Jack?
And then
Oh, there's
Oh,
more
Hannah's got
questions.
Sorry, I had
further
another
questions. Keep going.
Go
Do you
for-
really
yeah,
need
go
more
for it.
questions, Hannah?
yeah, just want to make sure.
Okay.
So at the beginning of your story, you said you were chatting with your French friends and you said to them bonjour, but that turned out to be Spanish because bonjour is actually French.
I nailed hello. I'm not gonna lie to you there.
That's
You said
entry
they
level.
then you said they then took the piss out of you.
Yeah, I actually said some more Spanish at the time, but I obviously lured them into a full sense of my achievements. And they were
Okay.
so proud of me. I could see it in their eyes that I went off on a flurry of Spanish. Very hard.
I also want to point out that in when you first started, you said you learned it for 2 weeks.
I was
And
wondering when
then
somebody would point that out. yeah.
Almost immediately afterwards, you said you'd been learning for a month and a half.
It was. I don't recall saying such a thing because it was anywhere between 2 weeks and a month and a half.
Yeah, come on. Jack's Reggie 8 story went on a span for 3 years.
This is my tactic, man. You've got to give a big window, otherwise you're going to
I mean,
just
that's
screw
a big
yourself over.
window, I think, to be making such a silly mistake.
Yeah.
If I'd been doing it for 3 years, then I'd be worried about it.
Well, you'd be
I think-
fluent. It'd be brilliant.
Did you not? I think you could did you not think about how you could have been speaking to them in Spanish, and then they would have said, "Yo, that's Spanish, not French." You could have just gone, "Yeah, I know. I'm learning Spanish."
I should have in hindsight, but because I was trying to impress these people, and then when they said that, my world crumbled around me.
Wow.
It wasn't the best day of my life, but yeah, it wasn't a good day.
Did you go home and just write a really bad review for this app that you were using?
I should have sent a very strongly worded email, but no, I think while crying, I deleted it.
James,
Alright.
have you forgotten that he's on your team?
Just trying to help him
To
out.
be fair, yeah, I didn't really know Miles back then.
He's helping him
Well,
develop the
when
story.
he was learning his Spanish and French.
All right, I don't think I need to ask, but Jack, truth or lie?
I think I've got everything I need. What are you guys saying?
I've made up my mind.
Yeah, same.
I don't.
What?
I don't think I can reasonably say it's true. I'm saying it's a lie.
I don't think you're that stupid, man. I really hope
wow,
not.
I really appreciate it.
We've really slagged him off.
Hey, what are you saying, Hannah?
Yeah, it has to be a lie. However, I'm kind of a bit like, it's so much of a ridiculous lie that maybe it's actually true.
Yeah,
The old
Do you know what I
switcheroo.
mean?
yeah. The old. It could be either, which is the whole point, I guess. I'm gonna
Alright,
say.
let's go lie. I'd say lie.
Yeah, I was gonna think live because I'm really hoping that you can't manage that.
All right, Miles, is it the truth or was it a lie?
That is to lie.
Ah.
I'm actually pretty smart, guys.
I thought so. I
Yeah,
thought
you got
so.
you got some good compliments out of that anyway. So
Yeah, I really enjoyed some of it.
yeah. You're
All right,
not
cool.
stupid,
So
Miles.
it's 3 points to Jack's team and 2 points to James's team.
3 points to Jack's team.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
Jack's
Wow.
Yeah, it
overtaken.
is.
What do you mean? We can literally listen to this and let. Oh, right.
Okay, viewers, go down in the comment section down below and see what you think. Who's winning?
Yeah.
All right, last up, we've got Sam. What are you saying, Sam?
Let's see. So I used to have a bad habit of collecting my fingernail and toenail clippings.
Aw.
Oh God.
Why did you do that?
So
It's a good question.
It's
at
all I can
first,
think of.
at first, I think my plan as a kid, I had this thing of I'll do a video and I'll basically show this jar getting bigger and bigger, and I'll call it after 10 years. I'll say, this is how many fingernails and toenails you grow in 10 years. It's like this weird science experiment. As you can imagine, I didn't do it for that long. It was probably a couple months before I kind of came to my senses and sort of thought, this is gross, and threw them away. But yeah, that's the why.
How many had you amassed in these 2 months? You
So I had like a little mason jar type thing, which I stole from my kitchen. I didn't tell my parents that I was collecting this, by the way. Yeah, one of the many things I kept secret from them back then. But yeah, it was a lot. It was more toenail and fingernail clippings than you've ever seen in your life, but it wasn't like a crazy amount. It was just when it's all together, it looks like a lot. It's pretty gross.
You know, I think straight off the bat, I believe that. I think that's a believable sort of thing that you would do like on the side as an experiment, like a self-experiment. When
on the
was
side,
this?
not as the main thing. On the side.
On the side, as long, yeah. How old were you? Yeah.
I was probably around year 7,
Same.
maybe.
Okay. See, I'd say that is a very like common thing to do at that age.
Yeah, it's believable.
Did you do it as
I
well,
don't know if
James?
it's common, James.
Everyone was doing it.
Everyone was doing it. It was trending on Twitter.
People like trading toenail clippings. They hadn't had.
Yeah. The canteen was selling them for 50p, so I was like, I got
Some weird lady at the end of the thing just giving away toenail clippings.
Okay. Did you So no one knew. This is the first time you're revealing the secret to the world.
I've told a few friends like in the time, but it wasn't something I publicized then because I wanted it to be like a surprise when I released this video at the end. I wanted it to like shock people, you know, be like, oh wow, that's a lot of I don't know what you even call it, but toenails, fingernails,
bullshit,
nail, yeah.
As you were doing this, were you like, you know, filling this mason jar up, and you were proud of it? Or
not really. That's kind of why I stopped after a couple of months because I was like, it's not that many. Like you'd be surprised, but as I said, it's a lot in the context of toenail clippings. But my mason jar wasn't filling up as quickly as I thought, and I thought this would be a really sort of bad 10 years if I carried this on, and I was underwhelmed at the end.
But imagine how many you'd have now.
Yeah,
we all live with regrets, Jack.
Hindsight, right?
I'm not saying whether this is one of mine or not.
When you were doing this, how long were you leaving between each clipping? So you would clip your nails and fingernails, and then how long would you go before clipping again?
It was just whenever they needed it, like just like a normal thing. I was never a biter. I always enjoyed sort of the act of clipping my fingernails.
So there wasn't a set routine to this.
It was just, like everyone else, they're looking a bit long. I'm going to clip it, but instead of clipping it into a bin, I did it into my mason jar, which I kept under my bed.
It was a side hustle than your main focus in life.
Did you like Google to see if anyone else was doing the same thing as you, or like had someone done it before? Or?
No one was.
I think I just had the insane hubris, and I thought this was a completely original idea. I don't think I looked it up. I may have like Googled it once, and there was like nothing. Maybe they were already into their 10 years. They were like 6 years in, and sort of hadn't done it yet. But I don't remember being much competition in the space.
Do you remember the like day where when you decided to stop doing it? Did you literally open up this mason jar and just pour away these clippings into a bin? Like was it? Or did you make it into into this thing like, wow, the last 2 months has been really emotional. Thank you so much for this journey.
No. So like 2 months is a pathetic attempt anyway, right? So I wasn't going to make like a video on that, but I think I just waited till my parents had gone shopping or something, crept downstairs, emptied the mason jar, being a bit disgusted with myself.
Right, on to the
sort of resumed my life.
What did you do with the jar?
I think I just quickly washed it and put it back in the cupboard.
Get some spices in
right,
there.
Gonna make some jam tonight.
And my parents never mentioned the missing mason jar, so either they knew and didn't want to embarrass me, or they were none the wiser.
If this is true, we definitely have to show them this podcast. Yeah.
All right, what are you thinking, James?
I think I'm going to have to go to my team for this one. I'm struggling with this one. Dan, what do you think? Well, Dan and Mars, I was going to ask you individually, but I thought we're a team.
Fuck you, Mars.
This has been a really tough podcast for you guys.
It's been a gross podcast.
Really has. I've got one question. How many centimeters high was this mason jar filled up, you say?
One second, let me grab my tape measure. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is.
You just hear loads of mason jars clanging around as you
Honestly, maybe 2.
2 centimeters. And what's the diameter?
Fuck. It was like a 10 centimeter mason.
Wow.
It's a fair amount.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Miles, great question. I think that's got to be a lie.
That's far-fetched.
That's
a lot. Too many
That's way more
clippings.
than I was thinking.
I don't know how big your toes are. But...
my memory's not great. I remember it being kind of pathetic.
Okay.
And obviously loosely packed, of course.
Obviously.
I wasn't jamming it down.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dan?
I think, especially with that new information, it's got to be a lie. I think that's too many clippings for such a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of clippings. If we taking that last statement out, would you have said it was the truth?
I was still thinking it was more towards the lie, in the sense that I think you'd need some inspiration to get that. And he said that he just did it and then perhaps looked online. But I think you got to, maybe you've seen that before and think, oh, I'd like to do that, but maybe for longer.
Yeah. What do you think, Miles? Retract that last 10 centimeter obscure.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't watch the video if it was released. I would be the first one to click on it, Sam. But I just think it's too many clippings. And before that, I was leaning true. Can lie, but I think it is a lie.
Yeah, I think it's a lie as well.
We going with lie?
Yeah.
All right, Sam. Truth or lie?
All right, looks like I messed it up in the final moments. It was a lie.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Wow. Yeah, I'm actually quite glad that was a lie.
I thought I'd gotten away with it.
I could hear Dan, almost chundering over there.
It was. I was close. I wasn't close.
All right, so that means our first ever episode is a tie.
Yo, guys, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Anytime.
Having us.
I love talking. This is brilliant.
Thank you for playing, guys, and we will see you next week on the What You Saying podcast.
Thank you very much.
Guys. See
Thank you
ya.
very much. Cheers.
Nice one.
Nice.
So that's been the first episode of What You Saying. Thank you for listening. Please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media to stay up to date with everything. If you've got any suggestions for what you want us to play next, let us know. Peace.
Cool. Did you want to say anything, James?
Yeah, you didn't say what our actual Twitter and Instagram stuff was. You can find us on @WhatYouSayingPC on Twitter and Instagram. And as for YouTube, a video will be coming out soon. So just, follow us on Twitter and Instagram for updates for that.
Thank you.
Maybe say something like we're just 3 average dudes just hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it was just 3 average dudes.
3 stand-up guys.
3 average dudes.
Say hi, I'm James or something.
Yeah. I should probably introduce myself. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi there. No, I'll say what you say. Every time I say something, I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to say this. Okay. What are you saying?